Let's take a look at this so I know what I'm doing.
Hey, what's up, guys? Helseth here. So this is a video I've been meaning to make for a while, but I never knew actually what time I should make it or whether I should do.
Jesus Christ. I'm so glad that people decided to take this seriously and listen to this video and start the conversation that really needed to be done. Looking back at this, it's ridiculous. Like, all I can look at is this horrible beard. Like, look at this. Look at all of this. This is Jesus Christ. I don't recall a single person
I wanted to
telling me
talk about this.
to trim that crap. Like, Jesus Christ, everyone. Like, oh my God. Okay, this is acceptable, right? Just doing what I got me work with, right? But this is horrible. Like, how could anyone take my message seriously when I presented myself as such? I look like a goddamn bum. Oy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well,
And
we're making another one of these videos. Yet another one of these. What's up, everyone? Helseth here. Hopefully a little better groomed than last time. Let's talk. Let's take a look at everything that's happened since the past. Let's talk about where we are now. Let's take a look at everything, right? So for those of you that didn't watch my previous video on this, I'm guessing the most people watching this will have watched the last one. But let me recap a little bit. So I've gone through various different stages, right? Like, I've grown with Guild Wars now for a while. For those of you that don't really know me, I've been a competitive player since the very start of it, and well, I've gone through various phases, right? I've been a little less mature than I am now, and I realize I still have a lot of room to grow and such. But we're moving up, we're moving forward, right? And I believe that one of the things that really made me grow up a little bit in this game was the Pro League Season 2, right? It was winning that finals, and I decided, holy hell, I actually love this game. I loved every moment of being on that scene. I loved every moment of being with my team. I loved every moment of every part of that championship, and I didn't want it to end. I didn't want the esports of Guild Wars 2 to end. I saw the value in it, not only as a player competing in it, but as someone who knows the value of a competitive scene in a game. Having followed the Smash scene, the entire Smash scene's live. Like, I've been watching that since the start, and I've seen how incredibly that scene has grown. I've seen games that are considered dead grow up and turn into a completely different thing due to a competitive community. And I just wanted the same for Guild Wars. So when I came back from the Pro League Season 2, I decided that I would try to change the game for the better. I would no longer look at it in an egotistical perspective, and I would try to do everything I could to make Guild Wars more accessible to others, as well as just get the game to grow a bit, right? Now, there was a lot of roadblocks that were in my way doing this, and I addressed them in this video, right? So the first one was, for instance, that there was a complete separation between the competitive community and the people that weren't so competitive, yet still playing PvP. Like, there was absolutely nothing bridging them together. There was no incentive for you to get more competitive in the game, because you would still be able to get legendary and such. And I addressed this in the video. And the other one was the community. It was the community, right? Like, you looked at Reddit and such, and you saw that whenever there was anything PvP related, whether it was just a simple question, or it was promotion of an event, or there was someone just wanting to upload a guide or something like that, right? Like, every single time anything came out and it was PvP, whatever that was, it would be downvoted to hell. It would be completely forgotten about. And people would rather like to talk about gemskin gliders and all that stuff, right? So let's actually take a look at what's happened since Season 5. And since everything, right? Well, there is a huge change in Guild Wars ever since Season 5 and a little bit before that. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone in the community. When I made this video, I really made it in a sense of like, well, let's just see what happens. Let's just see if, because the Guild Wars 2 community is so highly spoken of, and they're such a supportive community. Let's just see if you try to address what's wrong and see if they will try to help it. And it was an incredible, an amazing change in the community. Like, all of a sudden, every single time there was a PvP thread, kind of went a little bit overboard, right? Because every single time there was like one downvote in a thread, people would be like, oh my god, this is what Helseth was talking about. this video is being downvoted. Why Reddit? And then that thread would just skyrocket in votes because everyone would be like, oh well, let's show that we can support the PvP scene. Let's just show that we can do it and all that stuff. And this continued for a really long time. The solo duo vote came up. That's a read-in-its decision ever since this, right? We've talked about how there wasn't anything competitive in the game. ArenaNet made the necessary change to that. They made the system more competitive. And look at what's happened to the game. Look at what's happened in the Reddit. There's competitive discussion now. On the forums, there's more competitive discussions. People care about their ratings. People are aiming to get better. People are posting their stories about how they're aiming to get better and all that stuff. It is absolutely amazing what's happened in such a short span of time, you know? People would be talking about how dead GW2 PvP is, right? But look at it now. It's growing. It's literally growing. I'm seeing people from when HOT came out and they were like, oh well, this game isn't for me anymore. I'm seeing people from back then come back in the game now, and they're playing actively again. I have people that like haven't played Guild Wars ever, that are starting to not only tune into my stream and watch that stuff, but they've started playing Guild Wars. As an example, it's not going to mean anything to all of you guys watching this video, but I just want to give a shout out to a certain person that I hold very dear. So shout out to Simon Master, a guy I competed with in League of Legends for a really long time and all that stuff, and we try-harded a ton. Simon decided to give the game a try, having watched my stream and having watched me hype up Season 5 as much as I did. He's now playing the game, and he's considering buying HOT with that. And he's just consistently looking into getting better. He's tuning into the streams. He's got all the meta battle links and all that stuff. And he's a really talented player in other games. Like, he's been amazing in a ton of games. So it's just amazing seeing someone that had nothing to do with Guild Wars. And he's gone into the game now, and he's enjoying it. And he's speaking so highly of the game in comparison to the first time I tried it, which was before HOT, really early into Guild Wars 2, when we had essentially nothing. He played it for a week and was like, well, this doesn't have any outlet for a competitive player like me. That person now has a home in Guild Wars, and that is incredible. Because of this, I'd like to yet again thank the community. You guys are what made it possible. You voted for solo duo queue, right? And just look at what happened to the game. Look at the streams of Guild Wars. If you're not watching that, the streams have effectively doubled. Sorry, more tripled in views. Like when I'm not streaming, I see some person streaming Guild Wars 2 PvP. That's pretty much like that. They used to have like 20 views in the past, right? And I'm just watching, and I'm seeing people that couldn't even break like more than 20 views, right? They're sitting over 100 viewers now. I mean, I myself, I'm reaching on that 1,000 mark. I've gotten more support from the community than ever, and it's just incredible to see the growth and the things that have happened with the support from the community. And the general thing that I want to push in is like, things are heading for an amazing direction, right? Like, things are improving without doubt. But let's talk about what we can do to continue growing the game, because I hope that nobody's satisfied with this, right? We have a solo duo queue. We have an outlet for people to be competitive, to try, to care. Obviously, the system isn't perfect. Let's address the system at first and see what we could want to have changed. So first one that a lot of top players are talking about is that they don't like the duo factor of solo duo queue, right? They're saying, oh, it's more competitive if you only have solo. I understand this argument completely, but I disagree with it entirely. And the reason why is not because, well, I want to duo. Like, I would say that the people at the very top of the leaderboards, they're the ones that are suffering the most from essentially the requirement to duo at the high end. But I know, as a competitive player that's competed in the past, that having a friend that you can play with is a lot better for everyone that wants to get into the game more competitively. And we want to constantly add in more players right now. We want the game to continue growing. So if you're a competitive player and you're finding it kind of annoying, you're like, well, I really dislike when people are doing, I find it unfair with people doing and all that stuff. I understand your point, and you're not wrong in saying that like it would have been more competitive with solo. But consider the good for the game. Consider the good that there's someone out there that's right now in gold that wouldn't have been in gold. He would have done his placement matches solo queuing, and solo queuing in a game for a lot of people it's kind of terrifying in a sense, right? Like it's you have so much pressure, and it's so much, you have nobody that you can like talk with and have fun with, right? So it's just the frustration of an experience. Rather, you have someone that you can just share the experience with, and you can make something that could have potentially been a frustrating match, you can turn it into something good, and you can also get more motivated about growing and such. Like, it's much better for the game to have this duo function, and it's something that we should be happy about. The fact that we're getting more people in the game. So I definitely disagree with the idea that it should be solo only, but I see the frustration. My comment to this is, to all of you people that are like finding it annoying with a duo, this is how you have to consider it. Duo right now is an advantage because it guarantees that you have a really good player on your team, right? Like, if I queue and I bring someone on my level, that guarantees that there's 2 people on my level on my team. While there's not a guarantee that there's 2 people on my level on the enemy team, right? Like, that's a safety function of duo, right? It's not that much that it's team speak or anything like that. If you do watch the top players stream, you'll see that in 99% of the cases, the top players don't even use TeamSpeak. Like, they prefer not doing it. They find it better that way. So because of that, it's really just for the safety of having a really good player. With that in mind, sorry, I just lost my trail of thought for a second, but we got it back. With that in mind, when the community grows, when people get better at the game by competing, that's going to even out a little bit. You know, when the goal is to have, at the top rating, there should be a ton of people on my level, right? So the fact that I bring someone doing, the only advantage I should have is TeamSpeak, and right now that's not even being used, right? So consider that when you're complaining. It's better to have the community grow right now, and for people to get better together, and that's going to make the advantage of duo queue, it's going to diminish. It's going to diminish, just like it has in League of Legends and in any other games that has this system. It's just a matter of time. We're growing still. This is our first chance for a competitive scene and a competitive community, and we just have to keep growing about it. So while I do realize the frustration around that, it's something we gotta do for the community, man. That's the first thing. And the second thing, which is a valid complaint, is the leaderboards of the system right now. So for those of you that don't know, especially in the NA community, because NA has a tendency of shooting themselves in the foot. Whenever they get something that could potentially grow their scene, they just kind of I mean, they kind of just butcher it, right? And you see that on the NA scene, where they're doing all sorts of leaderboards, exploiting, they're making new accounts and all that stuff, and it's really sad seeing what they've done to their scene. All I can say, really, is you guys are not going to gain from this. Nobody's going to care about the fact that you got God of PvP in NA if you did by exploiting it. You're not going to get any respect. If there's any tournament in the future, you're not going to get a team placing over it. You're not going to get better at the game while doing this. Your community is not going to get better at the game. You're really just hurting yourselves and the game. Realize that. Realize that you're doing nothing. The only thing you're benefiting is your own ego of this, which nobody will respect because you didn't even get it fair in the first place. So all I can say to the NA community is, like, stop. Stop! You're not helping. You're literally just hurting yourself. So bear that in mind. Like, and I've seen a lot of NA, like Jeff, for instance, is trying to, like, Jeff is the guy that occupied most of the leaderboard spots, and he's trying to, he stopped playing on his alt accounts, or at least last time I checked he was, and he's trying to make the NA scene a little better, and that's how it starts. Everyone just try to do your own thing and making your scene better, and you're all going to benefit from it. Trust me on that. Anyway, yes, the leaderboards though, something that we really want to look at for Season 5, Season 6 rather, for ArenaNet, is the leaderboards. Try to make the placement on the leaderboard. Let's say you have 2,500 rating after 20 games. I realize that that's not possible, but it's a random number I just made up. If that happens, just wait for someone to have 50 games for them to be visible on the leaderboard. If that could be done on the ArenaNet side, that you're hidden from the leaderboard until you've played enough games, let's say 50, let's say 30, whatever the number is. I think that would benefit a lot for the scene, because that would prevent people from trying to cheese out with off accounts, which is a problem, especially on NA. But with that in mind, though, like the change has been absolutely incredible. It's incredible. People are complaining right now about the fact that it's like, oh well, I want to make a team and I want to compete as a team. As I said in this previous video, the fact that people are upset about this is amazing. It's really good, because there weren't anyone who cared before. There weren't people that wanted to compete before. That's changed now. So what are we going to do to give you guys a competitive outlet? Again, this is going to be on ArenaNet. We as a community, what we can do is we can we can ask for what we want. We can make a push for what we want. Just like you guys all pushed for solo duo queue, just like how all of us pushed solo duo queue together. We got a push now for having a team outlet in the game. Now, something that I think would be a mistake would be to have a separate team queue. Now, a lot of people have been talking about this. I myself have talked about this in the past. Is that you should have a solo duo queue and a team queue. The problem with this is that the team queue is going to be dead. 99% certain. All the competitive players are going to be playing solo duo. If there's a tournament ready, all the good teams are going to be screaming, and the team queue is just going to be a dead area of no prestige. Because of that, let's change that. Let's change that. Guild Wars 2 has had the programming for a tournament system in the past, and in Guild Wars 1, we did have automated tournaments. It's been done in many games as well. Like you can see it in Warcraft 3. It was done with an automated tournament system and all that stuff. What we as a community should want, when Season 5 ends and the poll pops up about solo duo queue, if you want to have a team outlet, then don't vote for a pre-made queue instead of solo duo. You're going to be hurting the game. What you want to do instead is you want to have the solo duo queue, and then we're going to want to be pushing for an automated tournament system. Imagine, if you will, that there would be 1, 2, 3 tournaments a day. And during those tournaments, there would be prestigious rewards attached to them. And during these tournaments, there would just be a specific time during these days, and you would have to queue in as a 5-man, and then you would join the tournament in the game, and then you would be playing. And, well, it would just battle it out till the end. And then, potentially, you could add in all sorts of things. Like, in the past, spectators, authorized shotcasters, used to be able to spectate that thing. In that case, you would be able to have someone that's authorized shotcaster. They could spectate the tournament and cast it. You could have streamers and competitive players stream the perspectives from the tournaments. It would be really interesting. A lot of people would be really excited about watching that. And it would really be the next step for our game in growth. People would care about Team Q, definitely. Well, the team tournament part of it. And then you could use that as a further incentivation for people to eventually care about the bigger tournaments, right? Oh, this tournament did really good in this weekly, and now there's this larger tournament. And like, I really want to see how that's going to go. People are already talking about like rank 55 versus Denial, the new rank 55 with Sinjanair, and people want to see that duke it out, right? And when that happens, the next tournament that happens with us, it's gonna be a great fight, right? And a lot of people are excited for that. And it's so amazing, the fact that people are excited for that. The fact that the scene has changed so much in such a short span of time. And it's all because of you guys. It's literally all because of you guys, right? Like, I've tried to push the PvP as much as I can. I've tried to improve the game as much as I can. But in the end, I'm one person. I'm one person who streamed a lot and played a lot of games, right? I have it, realistically, I have no power and no influence in reality. All I can do is put my voice out there, and if the people that care about the game and want the game to grow as a competitive outlet for MMO players, for people that love the combat of Guild Wars, really, like, I look at this more of a fighting game than I do as an MMO. It's because of you guys that it's happened, and it's absolutely insane. And to further push this for the community, me and Sinjanair, we have both decided that we're hosting a tournament now. I've already made a Reddit post about this, and just to show how insane the Guild Wars 2 community has become when it comes to this, right? I made a post yesterday about, like, it's me and Sinjanair. We're gonna host a tournament, right? We're gonna host a little tournament, and we wanted to have a little bit of rewards in it. So I talked about I would add 500 gold, and then we were like, oh yeah, we can try to get some gold from the community as well, and we'll just add it to the pot. Like 10 seconds after that, some guy donated $50, shoutouts to Wang, and he told me, well, buy gems for $50. And then everyone just started pouring in rewards and all that stuff, and we had an absolutely absurd level of rewards now for the tournament. And we're gonna go ahead and put that tournament out there. It's gonna be me and Sentinel casting it. The rewards are absolutely insane right now, and they're just constantly growing. When they get to a certain point, when the rewards are just too much, me and Sundaner are gonna be looking to make a second tournament, maybe a month after. And we'll be coming out with information of that like tomorrow after this post here. And it's really just a chance for all of you guys that are competitive and want to try to compete in the game, to get some extra rewards around it and get the chance of competing, right? Like a lot of you guys are competing in and try-harding in solo queue and duo queue for the first time, but trust me, playing in a team is so much more fun. Playing in a team is the real experience of Guild Wars 2. So I definitely want you guys to give it a chance. Because of that, all the teams from the World Championship, that's my team, that's Rank 55, that's Vermilion, and that's Never Lucky, that's PZ, and that's Absurd. All of these are banned from the tournament. We're not going to be competing in the tournament. Anyone else is welcome to do it. And we're going to have rewards, and we're going to try to make the rewards go to as many people playing as possible. Again, more details on that coming out real soon, like extremely soon. Really, like the main point of this video, it's literally just to congratulate and thank everyone for what you've done with the game. You guys have revitalized Guild Wars 2 beyond what it ever could have been, right? Everyone was a little skeptical to the idea of having a competitive system and all that stuff. Well, it's never been more popular than now. When I queued on my off account, that account was just, I would get insta pops all the way. Like through platinum, from bronze to platinum, I would have instant pops all the time. And I would be sitting on like a concurrent 800 viewership. And it's just insane. That's never happened before. It's more popular right now than when Guild Wars 2 was released. And that's just insane. And I can't tell you guys how excited I am for Guild Wars 2 PvP in 2017. And I really hope that you guys share that passion with me, even if it's just 1% of it, because that 1% is going to be enough for us to push the game to a state where you guys can't even imagine it, right? Like, you guys might be skeptical to the idea right now, but trust me, if the absurd change that we were able to get in the community and in the game from where it was, like, let's say at the end of Pro League Season 2 to where it is now, if we make a similar jump in excitement for the game again, then the game is going to be doing absolutely insanely well. And it's only growing, right? It's only growing right now. Really, like, this is not as well of a message as last time, but I just really wanted to take the chance to thank you guys and update you guys on what's going on, and let's just make Guild Wars 2 nutty, really, in 2017. I'm going to be doing everything I can for it, and I really hope you guys will join me on this. Anyway, I know, another non-Persona video. It's kind of lame, but whatever. I just had to do this video, really. Thank you to everyone in the Guild Wars 2 community. Let's see what happens going forward, and I'll see you guys later.